absolute certainty on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for.
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high-performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear it for Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula for formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes. Do you think that worked? Bill Reed, I do think that worked. We got Dr. Jude's Heart of Influence. It's Mastery Monday. Welcome, warm welcome to the Heart of Influence. And Bella Rita, the one and only Plato said, play a game with me for an hour and we'll learn more about each other than if we speak for a year. So we introduce some people and we ask you for a fun fact. It's a headline. It's not a story. Bella, let's get
to who's here. And first, from New York, New York, a media entrepreneur, founder specializing in production of a top-tier audio and visual commercial content, co-founder, co-hosting, and producing a show blending radio and with streaming with over 4,000 shows to date. A passion for media at NYU, leading to creating a platform of radio you can watch, focusing on original content for social media, radio, and platforms. Let's welcome to the show, Frederick Santori.
Hi, everybody.
Thank you, Frederick. Appreciate you being here today. And we kick this thing off, as we said, asking for a fun fact. It's a headline. It's not a story. So, Frederick, please, what is your headline fun fact?
That is you, Mr. Frederick.
How are you? Yes, I'm sorry. We just finished our 4th show in a row, and we're sort of trying to get our balance all around us. She's around here somewhere. She'll pop in a sec.
Amazing. That is an interesting fun fact. 4th show in a row.
I think he may have missed that because someone handed him the phone. So you want to say him again?
Yeah. So, Frederick, we're looking for a fun fact. It's a headline, something we wouldn't expect to hear or know about you. For example, Bella Rita picks her nose and eats it would be a fun fact, right? Would be a fun fact. I'm telling the truth. Like, it's just a thing. So
you've seen this blind man.
Yes. So there's a headline fun fact versus, when Bella was little, she started to feel insecure. She wasn't sure how to use a tissue. So that would be a whole story. So Frederick, please, what is your headline, 1-sentence fun fact about you?
That's interesting. I can't match that story. That's pretty good. Fun fact. I started this business getting divorced, and my 14-year-old helped me put it together 22 years ago.
That is an awesome headline fun fact. Congratulations on that. Frederick, we have a little bit of fun today. Bella, Frederick gets it. Let's go.
Frederick gets it, and rolling with Frederick from Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. held roles in medical device, biotech, the pharmaceutical sectors at Johnson & Johnson, winning multiple distinguished leadership roles, developed first ever Bridge to Employment STEM program and summer engineering job shadowing program for high school seniors, chapter lead in Global Alliance for Diverse Abilities, and an employee advocate, increasing engagement, inspiring, motivating, encouraging others. She's got some, she's kind of like a flat energy, a little bit shy, a little bit boring, kind of doesn't have a great smile, but we'll let her stay anyway. Miss Vicky Chase.
Welcome. Please, your fun fact, Vicky.
Oh no, we just lost Vicky.
Oh, I heard it disappear. We're coming back to Vicky. Who else is here?
Next up, we have from Boca Raton, Florida, received a full scholarship to medical school and worked mostly with professional women, realizing quickly that she wasn't helping optimally just writing prescriptions, discovered functional medicine, finding the root cause of disease, helping women with hormone balances, and results while running a food forest, growing her own veggies, discovering health benefits, being grounded in sync with energy of the sun, and getting fourth phase water, to name a few. Let's welcome to the show, Dr. Huma Ali.
How shall we refer you? Dr. Huma, Dr. Ali, like, how would you like us to
Just
refer
call
you?
me Homa.
I'm sorry?
Homa. Short
Huma.
you. Homa.
Yep. Thank you, Huma. And please, your fun fact.
So my fun fact is I make something from my food forest, which it includes ginger, it includes chicken, and if you guys ever ate it, you will be addicted. So there's never a person that I have cooked it for and fed it to who didn't become addicted and ask for a recipe and try to recreate it.
Whoa, that is super fun. Yum. I am very hungry, so thank you for that. And thank you for being here on Dr. Jude's Heart of Influence, Huma. Thank you. Bella.
Next up, we have, so I am presuming, is Dr. T, Dr. Anthony Deschesero? Is that correct?
As close as anyone gets. The Chesero, yes. Hello.
Chesero. Okay, perfect. So from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, chiropractor that is a lead instructor for one of the leading STEM wave companies, changing the impact on individuals with neuroskeletal needs. 30 years in practice, fundamentally changing the way he is ever practicing, saving lives from what was previously deemed as necessary surgeries. A Colgate athlete got hurt, helped by a chiropractor to heal in the way no one else possibly could. He runs 8 offices in 10 states, has patent on laser devices he designed. Let's welcome to the show, Anthony DeRozio.
So how shall we refer to you, Dr. Anthony, how would you like to be referred to?
That's why Dr. T works so much better. Ask Jude. He knows exactly why Dr. T is up there.
Dr. T.
Tony's fine, whatever you want to call me, dude. That's fine,
Dr.
guys.
T, you're creating massive impact. Awesome, sir. And please, your fun fact.
I sang in rock bands until 2019 while I had all my offices, and I was one of the top 10 guys for the Journey gig when Darnell Pineda got it.
Whoa.
So let's back up and slow down. So what were you doing for rock bands?
I'm a singer. Up until 2019, I've been on stages across the country for 25 years.
It's amazing. And what do you sing, or what's
I sing. Yeah. Like I said, when Journey got there, when Steve Perry was not coming back anymore, they got Arnel Pineda, but I was one of the top 10 guys they were looking at for that gig.
T, that's super cool.
It would be much cooler if I had gotten it, to be honest with you. But yeah, it's good. It was great.
Well, don't stop believing.
Right on.
We got you. Dr. T, awesome. Welcome to the Heart of Influence with Dr. Jude. Bella.
We got Vicky Case back in the house.
Vicky's back. Vicky, what is your fun fact?
Gosh. Okay, so my fun fact is that I'm definitely in the corporate world for sure. I do a ton of stuff corporately, but I also help manage a upcoming rock star. And that's been amazing. Her name is Grippa, and everyone go follow her on Instagram or any social media. She's amazing. And we just met with a whole bunch of artists in New York last week, and really some exciting. She's amazing. She's just graduated from high school, and she's like going to be the new Adele. So that's my fun fact.
Thank you for bringing the energy. Thank you for being here today. You ready to have just a little bit of fun on Dr. Jude's Heart of Influence today? I'll go with yes.
She is definitely, I can tell you, Vicky's ready to have some fun.
Great job,
She
Vicky.
brought the fun.
Let's go.
Last but not least, from Palm Beach, Florida, a first-generation Haitian American practicing medicine as an internist, waiting to be a physician before graduating high school, spent his first 7 years working in the hospital system, observing firsthand the failures of the current state of healthcare, blessed with various speaking engagements for adult and youth, realizes his superpower as an educator and ability to communicate, left the hospital to open his own practice, now focusing on providing a culture of wealth through health, knowledge, and self, known as Dr. J. Let's welcome Dr. J to his urban.
Thank you. Appreciate you a ton for everything that you do. The heart, the growth mindset, all of it. And please, Dr. J, what is your fun fact today?
Thank you guys. Thank you all for being here. And my fun fact, kind of mentioned before, it's the one that sticks with me because I think it's one of the coolest things that I've had. Went to the mall to pick up my check. I was in my early 20s, pick up my check from work, saw a ruckus going on down the breezeway, see someone running at me, and I'm looking, and it was Michael Jackson. And so I'm backpedaling while he's being chased by people. I reach out and grab his hand. He shakes my hand without a glove on it, and it was very rough.
Whoa, Dr. J, rolling with Michael Jackson, for sure. Dr. J, yeah,
cool,
amazing. Are we ready?
Let's do it.
Let's go. I'm going to introduce our co-host, this feisty woman seated to my right. This woman started her career in influence, selling crafts on her parents' front lawn at 8 years old. By the age of 19, she was a 7-figure business generator in the space of network marketing. That's not easy to do. Then at 24, 25, 26, speaking about basketball, she was three-peating like Michael Jordan, except not in hoops, no dunking, no raining in threes, but instead she was three-peating in the male-dominated industry of business brokerage as Arizona, Nevada's #1 business broker. And doing it at 24 years old, she was the first woman ever to do it and youngest person, male or female, ever to do it. She started training entrepreneurs in Fortune 500 companies on how to be, cool like her. In 2019, every sales team she worked with doubled their sales, and I mean every. She became a skier, surfer, scuba diver, adventurer in all the most extraordinary of ways, published author and philanthropist, raising millions of dollars with the Unblinded team. And in 2023, this heart-centered woman publicly, courageously, and inspirationally battled and defeated cancer. Let's welcome to the show in her more than 800th episode of The Heart of Influence, Bella Barita.
That is me.
That's you.
That is me.
Bella Barita, what's your fun fact?
I'm going to go with the fun fact that next week, my co-host and the Unblinded team are taking about 100 people to Grand Cayman, and I am headed there with them to celebrate my 1 year of being cancer-free. That's my fun fact for today.
Let's go. We're going to get some diving in, some training on the superpower of group influence at the highest level in the world, of course, and more on that in a little bit. But that's what we're exploring here today. So, Bella, who's going to lead us off?
Well, Sean, before someone could lead us off, I think I should introduce my co-host.
Oh.
Yes, let's do that.
Okay.
The man that Tony Robbins said, there's no one who leads with more heart and more integrity than Sean Callagy. He beats world champions like Becky at body surfing competitions. He's only one of 2 attorneys to win 2 top 100 national jury verdicts between 2014 and 2016, and the only one that's blind out of 1.2 million attorneys. And in fact, the state of New Jersey thought he was so influential that they actually named him one of New Jersey's most influential attorneys. He has spoken on stages such as Disney, T-Mobile, Salesforce, Tony Robbins 18 times. And when he's not busy flying around the world speaking in front of thousands of people, he's an incredible philanthropist that has raised nearly $10 million for refugees in the Ukraine in the last 2 years. Let's welcome to the show my co-host, Mr. Sean
Huge, warm welcome to everybody for being here today with all of your growth mindsets and deep hearts. Thank you. Thank you. I know this is my fun fact. I'm a blind man. I can't see anything in front of me that has taught sighted people to ski.
Doesn't matter.
To ski. Yeah. To ski, surf, and scuba dive in the most extreme of conditions. And in fact, I was surfing in Long Beach Island, New Jersey, the site of the original Jaws shark attack, when I hit a shark with my surfboard. It turned around and bit my surfboard, and I came out unscathed and lived to tell the story. So that is my fun fact for today.
That is a super fun fact.
Bella, who's going first?
Let's kick this off with Ms. Vicky.
Vicky, here's what's happening. Vicky, Bella's going to be anybody you want her to be. She could be an ideal client. She could be your patient. She could be a philanthropic fundraising partner. Heck, she could be somebody famous like Oprah Winfrey, Warren Buffett, or the people deciding on who the next lead singer of Journey is going to be. Whomever you'd like her to be that you're going from hello to yes with. It doesn't have to be an ultimate yes. It could be just a yes for a longer conversation. And, you know, the world of pitching, hooking, and closing, like yuck, who wants that? What does it look like when heart-centered, integrous people have a conversation and maybe just get to a yes and having a longer conversation? So Vicky, please, who would you like Bella Frida to be that you're going from hello to yes with?
Let's see. Well, I love Oprah.
Let's go.
All right.
Bella's Oprah. Take us in, Vicky.
Hello, this is Oprah.
Hi, Oprah.
Hello.
Hi. Okay, so I just want to let you know that you're a huge influencer, an influence for me, and somebody that I look up to and respect so enormously. And I am just so thrilled to be able to be talking to you today. It's such an honor. So thank you so much for taking some time with me today. And I want to ask you, what book do you think is going to be on your new favorite book list?
Oh, what new book? I don't know how new it is, but I've recently interviewed Jamie Lima. I'm drawing a blank on her last name. She wrote a book, Worthy. She's actually my neighbor now. She founded the cosmetic company It Cosmetic, and she has written an incredible book called Worthy that I had her over in my backyard. We had a discussion about it. Definitely one of my top 10 must reads right now.
Yes, I know her whole story, and I am a big fan of It Cosmetics. So I recommend all of your books to my book club, because I think that you're the best. So
and what made you ask that question? Like what interests you and what's important to you right now?
Well, it's just your passion for everything, whether you're gardening or I love your home. I love the way that you have such passion with the way that you will see a beautiful flower and you'll just talk about this flower and you'll just have this, you're such a beautiful storyteller. And I love your books, when you recommend books, because when you talk about them, you just draw everybody in and you get everyone so excited about the message within that book. And everything that you recommend, I then go and we read the book. So I want to know what is the latest and greatest with you so that I can then take it to my people. And we always dive into your book club. So I love that you.
And have you read the book Worthy yet?
Having people I have not read it yet, but I've heard so much about it. But no, I have not read it yet. But that will be on the summer reading list for sure. But I think
definitely anything else I can do for you.
Well, yes, I would love for you to maybe come to one of our book clubs. How's that? Why don't you come to Palm Beach Gardens and make an appearance?
That would be my honor, Vicky. Would love to learn more about that, and we could see what we could do.
Great job, Vicky.
Oh my gosh! Well, thank you so much.
We'll get to the feedbackers in a moment. Vicky, outstanding. And please, Belle, who's following up Vicky?
Following up Vicky is Mr. Frederico.
Frederick, who would you like Bellerita to be?
Oh, just unmute for us, Frederick.
I'm thinking Jesus Christ.
Ooh.
Yeah, they look alike. So let's go.
Yes.
Well, nobody
All right.
really remembers what the version looks like, right?
I was there. Sean says he was there.
He was there.
This is Jesus.
Jesus, how are you?
Holy. How are you?
Very nice to meet you. Yes, very holy. I wanted to ask a simple question. Does everything that you had taught and believed in, do you think that today has ended up like you planned?
Ooh, well, I think I'm gonna go with yes and yes. I'm gonna go with yes and that human beings have evolved in all of these years and all of these decades and all of these centuries. And when the universe was created, I knew how it was going to go. And we need, some people want to challenge the word, and it is healthy to do so because people need to find their own meaning in the word and what it means to them and their purpose in the world. And I think, for me to say there's something wrong with the world today from how I saw it all these years ago would invalidate my mission.
And I wanted to ask you about that mission. Do you think the way you express faith and belief that it gives every person, rich, poor, and everything in between, the same footing and opportunities to be successful?
Absolutely, 100%. It all comes down to, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
It all comes down to faith, love, belief. As long as there's faith, there's love, there's belief, and forgiveness, anything is possible.
And would you have changed anything? I mean, the outcome, of course, changed anything about how you taught your message?
Absolutely not. It was meant to be taught in the way that it was taught, and to say, oh, I would change this or I would change that would imply a regret of something. And there are no regrets. I believe, and everything is designed how it's supposed to. And even though there is challenges, there's friction. And listen, with billions of people on the planet, with billions of views, things are going to get muddled. People are going to have their own ways of communicating things and seeing things and being able to articulate. But that's what makes human beings so unique. And if we could just have a little bit more empathy for the uniqueness in how I created human beings to be, instead of saying they all need to be this way or that way, the world would be a better place.
And the amazing thing,
anything else I can do for you in our final 10 seconds?
I'd just like to learn more about how to take a philosophy and make it as broad and well-known as the formula that you use, which you're telling me is really simple to do. I'd just like to learn how to do that.
I would say speak your heart, your mission, how you see it to as many people as possible, as often as possible.
Yeah, and maybe if you add martyring yourself and martyring like the 11 closest followers that you had, then that could also create an impact. Yeah. Yes, of course. So Frederick, amazing job. Vicky, extraordinary job. Let's get to the feedbackers.
Let's do that. Dr. Huma, Dr. T, and Dr. J. This is the time in the show that we get to get 30 seconds of feedback to Frederick and Vicky. Something that they did great, something that they could do to improve. And then like the next step, you would rather go to the dentist and have a root canal than have a longer conversation with Frederick or Vicky. I enjoyed the conversations. I don't think anybody's getting a root canal today. But maybe the next step is like a mocha chocolate and a croissant at Starbucks, my favorite French coffee shop. Yes, be here for a bit longer of a conversation. Or maybe if you really want to sit down and talk to Frederick and Vicky for even longer, you would rent a private room at the Capitol Grill, ordering the seafood tower and the nice juicy steak. Unless you're vegan, of course, maybe you're having salad and French fries, but you're not skipping out on dessert because you want to have the longest meeting possible. Maybe you're even inviting Jesus Christ to that meeting. Who knows? But if that's not a long enough conversation, then you would rent a private jet. Of course, stop and pick up Dr. J and fly anywhere in the world, have the longest meeting possible with Frederick or Vicky. And so let's kick this off for Dr. Huma. How about your 30 seconds of feedback for Vicky? Oh, just unmute for us. And coming to you next, Dr. T.
All right. Yeah, Vicky, I was inspired by how you were able to create what Oprah is most passionate about and like ignite that. And then when you invited her, that I think resulted in her being inspired enough to say yes. And it just really looked like you were resonating with her passions, and that was like a part of you. So I got that.
Oh, awesome. And what would your next follow-up step be? Cup of coffee, seafood tower, and steak at the Capitol Grill, private jet. What would that next step be, Huma?
Steak at the Capitol Grill.
Let's go. We're having steak, Bella.
We're having steak at the Capitol Grill. Dr. Huma, your 30 seconds of feedback for Frederick.
I was really you were really inquisitive and curious, and then you're you're just like passion for humanity was like shining through in your conversation with her as Jesus Christ.
Beautiful. And next follow-up step would be?
Just tell me the
cup of coffee, steak dinner, or private jet.
Yeah, I would take a private jet to have a longer conversation, so I could just
nice.
And where would the private jet go?
I would say I would let Frederick choose. Where would you want to go?
All right, Frederick, where would you want that jet to go to continue the conversation?
I probably would take it to Jerusalem and work my way backwards from the stories that were written.
Beautiful. Outstanding job. Going to Jerusalem. Come on, Bella.
Going to Jerusalem. Let's go, Dr. T. How about your 30 seconds of feedback? We'll start with Frederick this time.
Frederick, loved it. Love the topic. Love the idea. You go big every time I see this. There's no doubt you're going big every time. Would love to continue the conversation. I think the steak dinner, you can't go wrong with the steak dinner, and we could probably have all kinds of arguments and be friends and be enemies all in one conversation. I think that would be spectacular, without a doubt. So that's what I would do, and it gives you there's a lot of ground to cover on that for sure. Yeah, so that's where I am with Frederick.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Vicky?
Miss Vicky in the beginning was playing it, and then she fell into this role. Like she could do that with anybody she ran up against, for sure, 110%. And then she really thought about the whole Oprah thing and fell right into it. And it's a huge passion for her. I was looking for the keys to my car underneath my seat that I didn't get from Oprah that time, but that's okay. That's fine. Vicky, we're taking a jet somewhere for obvious reasons because We can talk about a million things and feign whatever and have a great time either way. Because I'm definitely not taking Federico on a jet anywhere. But you, no, yeah, Federico. Hey, we may end up there, man. But I ain't starting now. Let's put it that way.
Good.
But yeah, love it. Thought you guys were both great for sure.
Awesome job, Dr. T.
And Dr. T, how about your? Oh, we started with Frederick. So let's go, Dr. J. How about your 30 seconds of feedback for Frederick?
Frederick, that was good. That was unexpected. But you definitely saw like Dr. Uma said, the curiosity, the how inquisitive, and you even adjusted your seat. I don't know if you caught it to kind of like lean in. So you were really in tuned about the words that were to follow. And so I think that, and you were very direct also with your questions. It's almost like you had them written down. Are they underneath your palm or something?
Not at all. Not at all.
Beautiful, but having it so front of mind, that just shows something that's very important to you. So that was really good way to lead off. And I would say definitely let's do. I don't know. We might hang out all day, man. We start with the coffee, but make it closer to dinner so we can get to the Capitol Grill. And then maybe Dr. T will invite us on the jet if everything's flowing nice.
Let's go. Let's go, Dr. J.
And Dr. J, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Vicky, please?
Vicky was being Vicky. You all now know Vicky. Awesome energy. And then the passion was there. And you saw started off with fun, got more serious into the books and then a little bit of flattery and how much she really respects Oprah and how much she follows the book club and has her own book club. Talk about modeling, right? And then at the end, she just went in for the kill, like not playing and beating around the bush, but like, you know what, Oprah, come to my book club. So open arm invitation, and is very sincere throughout the whole thing. And Vicky, let's get Seafood Tower steak and yeah, definitely Capitol Grill, and then we see where it goes from there with all that energy.
Yay. Oh my gosh. So many steak dinners. This is great.
I didn't know you could pick all three. I thought you had to pick one. Jude.
It's his show. So Dr. J can do whatever he wants. There we go.
Exactly.
So yeah, now Dr. J, you know that because Vicky Frederick sat in the hot seat, Bella thinks it's only hospitable of me to do the same. And she gets to cook up some craziness. And please don't let this woman of mischief let it go too far, Dr. J. So let's go.
Yes. So Dr. J and everyone, this is the time in the show that I get to put my co-host on the hot seat in a scenario that he has no idea about, because you may have noticed I've been cooking them up as the show's been going on, and we're going to see if he can flex his influence muscles or not. And so Dr. J, as always, I've created 3 different scenarios. You get to choose what scenario that Sean goes from hello to yes on. You can change anything about the scenarios, or you can be so inspired that you come up with something on your own. Are you ready to hear what I have for today?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So option number 1 is I thought Sean could role play Vicky, going from hello to yes with Julie Greenwald, who is the co-CEO of Atlantic Records and representing her new singer, going from hello to yes with Atlantic Records to produce an album for her, because Atlantic Records is like known for bringing rock stars into the public eye. So that would be option number 1, Dr. J. Option number 2, I don't know that much about Dr. T's laser devices, but I'm hearing some great things. And I thought option number 2 is Sean could role play Dr. T, going from hello to yes with Joint Chiropractic, who is like, you know, they're a chain. They're kind of like down here. They don't bring lots of fluff to the things. And so Sean is going to go from hello to yes with them to bring their laser devices. And Joint Chiropractic always says no to everything because, you know, they're just kind of your basic, like, you know, come in, let me crack your bones and send you out. So Sean's going to role play Dr. T, going from Hello Yes with Joint Chiropractic to bring his laser devices to all of their joint chiropractic locations. So that's option number 2. And then option number 3, in the green room, I was having some hormone conversations with Dr. Huma, which I think is an important topic. And so option number 3 is Sean would role play Dr. Huma, going from Hello to Yes with Oprah Winfrey to have her on her Soul series, having a conversation about hormones and biohacking and all the things that could be done that she has knowledge of. So Dr. J, those are the 3 options they have for you today. Any of those tickle your fancy, or now you like so inspired, like got a big, brilliant idea?
Yeah, no big ideas today. Those are all really good, Bella.
I do my best.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. I'm gonna go with the Sean as Vicky, because I want to see how he can get this record label to just be like, okay, we're putting her on air tomorrow. Let's go.
Okay, and so 2 questions, Dr. J. Who do you want to play the co-CEO, Julie Greenwald? So who do you want to play that role?
Ooh. Let's go with Vicky, because I think she'll bring the energy, and so yeah, she has to battle
All right, and
herself.
Vicky, and what was the gal that you are managing? What's her name?
Grippa.
Grippa. All right, so you are going from Hello to Yes with the CEO, Julie of Atlantic Records, to produce a record for Grippa, who is, not that known at the current moment, but they are going to produce a best-selling album for her.
Okay, and it's Greenwald, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Hello, is Miss Greenwald available?
Yes.
Yeah, hey, Miss Greenwald. Vicky, hi, we had a 3-minute conversation scheduled for today. Is it still a good time for you?
Yes, but I just have a few minutes.
I know. I'll keep it to 3 minutes. Does that still work for you? That's 2 minutes and
Yes.
50 counting. Amazing. Thank you. And if I ask, you get bombarded with people. I'm so grateful. I know you know who you are. I just want you to know how I know who you are, how precious your time is, all the opportunity in the world. But you get bombarded with these types of requests. What prompted you to say next to have a conversation with me about Grippa? I'm super grateful. But what was the prompt? Please, Miss Greenwald.
So you definitely, Grippa definitely has a lot of support out in the community, definitely has hooked up with some really great people managing her, who I personally know. So it was actually a favor to get to see some of the work that she's done. Very, very, very impressed with what she's produced so far. So yeah, I definitely would like to meet her in person, and I like what I see so far.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate that enormously. And Ms. Greenwald, with Atlantic Records, my understanding obviously is that you want to bring stars out there. You're a for-profit company, but how about on the why level for Atlantic? I've read a little bit, and I've certainly read some of the articles you posted and seen some of your videos. But what's the why that keeps driving you forward and Atlantic Records forward behind everything you're up to? Please.
Well, it's extremely competitive business right now. It's like it's never actually been as competitive. You can't be great, you can't be outstanding, you have to be extraordinary. So we are looking for extraordinary talent. We are I need to feel it like I've never felt something before when she comes in here and she performs. But honestly, the likability factor is the most important thing to me, and that's really something that is the biggest thing that I'm looking for in an artist. So I want to surround myself with the talent, the likability, and extraordinary talent. And because it is such a competitive marketplace right now, and the business has changed so much, but at Atlantic Records, we are signing the extraordinary.
Understood. And so in the final 60 seconds or so we have, can I share a couple of things with you, Miss Greenwald, from that place of seeking the extraordinary that may or may not resonate with you?
Yes.
Yeah. So the ability to sing, as I think we could be aligned upon, is a fractional element of the game.
Mhm.
And in fact, so many people that can sing wonderfully and beautifully have been dramatically outpaced by artists from the past who can make people feel. See, for example, Bruce Springsteen. Those that touch the soul, the power of energetic transference, and all of the energies, the fun, the aspirational dynamic, the dream of Martin Luther King, the heart-centeredness of Janis Joplin and Peace of My Heart, to the absolute fire and certainty of some of the greatest rock performance in history. It is all of these things that you will feel and experience with Grippa. But here's the most profoundly important critical piece. Her abilities to perform and advance this mission in front of a live audience are second to none. And we could both attest to the fact that a massive impact of revenue for artists today is going to be everything that happens besides initially selling records and how much in the multimedia sense they're able to create. And Grippa, at her age, is another, not only Adele, a Janis Joplin who left the world far too soon, but those that have the ability to knock people in the back row through the back wall with her heart, her soul, her passion, her being. So that's going to come across at some level in the live meeting for sure, but at a fraction at which putting her in front of 20,000 people in an arena, let alone 80,000 people in a stadium, and very few people can carry a stadium, this woman, Miss Greenwald, Grippa, eventually will with your support. So is there anything else I can answer today before we have this meeting? I'm super grateful for everything that you're a stand for in the world, and anything else I could share with you right now.
No, I mean, I appreciate that. Obviously that's the goal, right? Is to have that sort of talent, and to have that feeling and the energy and all of those things. So, I mean, I would really love to have some more time to be able to really get to know who she is on a personal level, and to have her meet and have her perform for me. So maybe we can make that happen for a few minutes, maybe next week.
We're there. This is everything for Grippa and on my heart for me as well. So shall I set that up with your team? For as long as you have, we have Miss Greenwald. And
Yes, you'll be hearing from you'll be on the lookout for an email, and you'll hear from us.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that. Appreciate that, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, Vicky, how'd I do as you? Speaking about an artist who I have no presence to, but how'd I do having a conversation with Miss Greenwald?
Yeah, no, it was great. It was great. I wish it was that easy. Yeah, no, great. I mean, honestly, everything that your passion and everything that you said got me, really excited. It's a really tough business, and there's so much competition, but I think that you did great as me. And again, it's just that passion of really, and that conviction that artist is going to just resonate with people in such a way that they haven't even felt before, because they haven't heard her sing. So once they do, that feeling, that inner feeling of, oh my God, like I think that was great. It's like Billie, for me, like, it's like Billie Eilish, Adele, Lady Gaga, like what is it? We'll never know. It's just a feeling every time you hear their voice. For me, that those are like my favorite artists, right? So I think that you.
Oh, I'm sorry, Vicky.
No, I was just gonna say, I think you pointed out the fact of it's the energy. It's just that feeling. It's intangible.
But what if it's not? And what if it's reduced? What if what looks like magic is actually simply an advanced science? And what if the reason Janis Joplin was Janis Joplin, or the incredible artists that you've shared are who they are, is because they have an ability to transfer energy and do invariance and shifting that the people who they stand dramatically above simply don't have. And that's been the study of my life for 27 years. And with humility, every human being in a room of 4,000 people, when I first went to Tony Robbins Business Mastery, wanted to be on that stage. There's not a person who inside of them didn't want to be there. And I made it to that stage in my second event, and I shattered every sales record imaginable, because it's a science, and the same reason the top jury verdicts and all of it. So we have a gift at the end of today, our group influence book, and I mean with all my heart, I could feel your passion for this young woman. And it literally is a reproducible science. And the reason that people separate themselves from other people is found in the clues of Martin Luther King's aspirational energy, Ellen DeGeneres or Robin Williams' fun energy, the powerful, loving, heart-centered energy of a human being that you just feel their heart present. And again, Janis Joplin, for example, or Oprah Winfrey, and I see you, I hear you, what you say matters to me. And of course, all the extraordinary human beings with the absolute highest degree of certainty, from Malcolm X to Muhammad Ali, to humans that bring certainty and decisiveness that can knock people through a back wall and touch their hearts at the same time. So just a few thoughts, and that is a highly informed opinion. And great job today, Vicky. And how was your time overall on Dr. Jude's Heart of Influence?
I hope I love it.
Awesome.
I'm having, yeah. And I'm all about energy. I actually just went to, I don't know if you've heard the Human Performance Institute. It's an amazing organization. It's actually morphed into something else right now, but it's all about energy. And so my company puts us through a very intensive course on all of that that pertains to energy. So everything that you're saying, 100%, I align with.
And just for absolute precision, I'm not talking about metaphysical energy. I'm talking about the difference between how humans literally make people feel like Robin Williams, Martin Luther King, Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, and the ability to do it reproducibly, right? And that piece, I'm just speaking with emphatic certainty because you are clearly a human with a deep passion. And the precision and ability to do this is why every single place I step onto, I cause, yes, at unprecedented exponential different levels. Why I've bet Grant Cardone and Jordan Belfort $250,000 each, and they hide from that because it is a science that is an attainable, duplicatable skill set. I have one of only 2 attorneys at 1.2 million to create 2 top 100 national jury verdicts. And this space is the study of my life. And we have a book at the end today as our gift. Please use that book as a textbook for yourself and this artist. It will blow your mind. Like emphatically, like, point. And I say with respect, take the person who runs the Human Performance Institute. I will love it. I'll bet them $1 million. I out-influence them on any set of facts. My standard is I'm the best in the world, by far not close. And I want to support you in what you're doing. And lots of folks talk about lots of things. They don't talk about this thing at this level, which is why Tony Robbins, I've recreated his entire process of sales after he's been on stage for 40 years and all these other things have happened. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying it because I want to give you what can support you and this artist. It sounds like she's incredible. And I don't talk this like run 1,000 shows, but like we've never had this level of conversation because I can feel what you feel for this young woman. And I want to give you that support. So thank you for being here today, Vicky.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. And Dr. T, brother, you got some communication skill sets. I'm not confused. And that's how you built your empire and what you have. And how was your experience today on Dr. Jude's Heart of Influence?
It was great. I love this guy. I think he's spectacular. I think he's a lion just waiting to crush it. I think Jude's going to be spectacular. I'm happy to learn clearly from some of the best people around, and I love to listen. And Doc may say that I like to talk a bit too, so that's okay. But thank you for your passion, you too, and all you've done for us today. Taking the time has been very well spent. For sure.
And Dr. T, I missed a bit about the laser. So as a blind man, which I am blind, right? Like, please share for, a minute or so, what's the technology that you're a stand for in the world? Because I'm pleased you got a lot going on. That's awesome. So if you could please share with us, what is that?
Yeah. To be clear, the laser stuff, I have a US patent on my laser and phototherapy devices, but that's not really where my heart is now. My heart is more in this shockwave therapy stuff, and the shockwave stuff, they're healing devices that are changing the way people are doctors specifically are practicing. It's helping doctors get out of this doldrum of insurance problems that they're having. They're not being paid. They're not being paid for the time that they're putting in. Patients are getting lousy treatment because the insurance companies are running the doctors. It's the same story over and over. But these new technologies that Dr. Jude is embracing as well, it's how we met, is changing the landscape. For sure, for doctors and patients. And it creates this continuum of love and respect for doctors and patients that aren't there when they're being driven by time, and they're selling their time for money, right? And it's changing everything. So I'm excited to bring it to doctors. I train doctors all over the country, and yeah, it's given me my family and my faith is my purpose, but this has changed how I practice, and it's been spectacular. So
Awesome. I can feel the energy and the passion. Thank you for being a stand for health and healing at the level you are, and your communication skill sets like Vicky's are present, received, and truly extraordinary. So thank you for that, Dr. T. Thank you. Yeah. Dr. Huma, thank you for being here. What you're a stand for in the conversation you had with Bella related to some of her journey and what she's been through, and all that you're a stand for, and people finding their way to a new stage in their life. So thank you for that. And please, your final, how was your time on Dr. Jude's Heart of Influence today?
It was good. I can feel this incredible energy and people who are passionate about the thing, and it's just like it's shining through. And I honestly believe that we as people are incredibly motivated by the right things somehow, and then we like to blame the system, and we like to say the system is broken. But I don't want to give my power away to something that's inanimated and that was created. We have the power, and it belongs to people, and like it happens, the transpersonal energy exchange that happens, that's where the power is. So I want to stand in my power and, like, just transform one life at a time. And I just love it in each moment. So I love being around you, people like you. Thank you.
Your presence is felt, your certainty is felt. And thank you, Dr. Huma. Thank you. Awesome job. Final, Frederick, thank you for the courage, the vulnerability of being that participant seat, first of all. And second of all, to have Bella roleplay Jesus and have that conversation. So truly present to your growth mindset and your heart, your seeking of truth. It was like screamingly present. Thank you for that. Please, how was your time today, Frederick?
This was outstanding. I've been doing this business for over 22 years. We have a studio that we call the House of Passion. And we bring in businesses, and we've helped over 600 businesses start one way or the other. And the level of energy that we're talking about before is exactly what we do 5 days a week in here, me and my partner. And today, that was the subject of conversation on 6 shows that we did. And I'm just blown away that I finally met 2 people that I can actually say, I think what we've been doing all this time, I found people that get it. And it's amazing. It's amazing. And I purposely did the Jesus Christ piece because I've asked that question. It's been asked of me, who did I want to meet if I had the opportunity to meet one person in my life? And I never got the chance to put that role on someone else. But I noticed that for the first 10 seconds, you were like, this is different. My house, our studio, Dawn, the stories when you come in, if you were ever to meet us, will be endless. It's all about the passion of transfer, of learning from one another. And just when you think you've learned it all, it's just a little bit more to learn. The Vicky, I want to tell her, we also have singers in the entertainment field. We just sent one down to, where did she go? New Orleans to cut a record. We have a few that we've worked with for years. Very tough business, because not only do you have to sing, you have to be an entertainer. And at the end of the day, when they're on the Grammys and they get a Grammy and they hold it up and say, listen, we did it, that whole feeling changes everything. That's why we've been doing what we've been doing on the cafe now for about 9 years.
Awesome. Well, Frederick, thank you for your heart, your passion for business people. And Dr. Jude, you've assembled a really present, growth-minded Dr. Dweck at Stanford talks about the literal brain science of the growth mindset. This is all over the place here, and as well as their hearts. And that's a reflection of you, Dr. Jude. Thank you for who you are, how you show up in the world, and your final on your Heart of Influence today. Please, Dr. Jude.
Well, first and foremost, thank you for everyone to come and spend some time here. Um, I have to say, I saw something with picking these individuals, but kind of crushed it here. There's
Yes, you
some
did.
multiple levels of overlap. It's like a spider web, and they don't really know how they're all connected in multiple ways, but and I didn't think the music part would be so present. I did not know what Vicky has going on and representing someone, whatever. Um, but there's a lot of entanglement in that good way. Uh, and the energy, the questions, the Jesus Christ, like a lot of unexpected angles. Um, and I'm super excited. Something that was cool towards the end, when you asked Vicky how was her time, Vicky came on, super energy, smiling ear to ear, and she got a little serious. Uh, and because you tapped into the passion, she really believes in this artist that
Yeah.
she's with, and again, you are so impressive on the way you listen and feel, and energy does transfer because you cannot see that that was happening to her, but you like knew that was happening to her, right? And we all had the advantage of being able to see it, but even though with that passion, she's still smiling now, but she also is like her gears are running. She's really serious, and she's gonna take that role playing that you just did as her and see how
Yeah.
she can take her artist to the next level. So I thank you all. It was really cool from each one of you, and I hope that you had a great time.
Yeah. And Dr. Jude, if I'm betting on somebody to help support a singer to come forward, I'm betting on Vicky, right? Like
Oh
I'm
yeah.
betting in a big way. And I'm betting on all these fine folks that are here today and did a beautiful job. And as a thank you, we have 3 gifts. These are not throwaways. We're not talking about umbrella or a bottle of wine or a box of chocolate. That's cute, but these are potentially life altering. The first is this Wednesday, we have our deep practice session open where we begin to explore and unpack this human technology of what this really looks like to bring our work forward at a different level of truth. 8 to 8:45 Eastern time will be there. You'll meet 80, 90, 100 entrepreneurs like yourself that are on our blinded programming or have been on Heart of Influence recently. It's opened up to you for Wednesday. Second, that book I talked about, that'll be in the chat. It's our ebook on group influence. We are selling tons of those books because people are just blown away. And not one person has read this book and said, yeah, I know this. I've seen this before. It will be that. And this becomes your textbook, not only for public speaking, but for leadership and management, because I believe that the world of management, leadership, and public speaking is profoundly, maybe at the flip phone level, and it's ready for the iPhone. And the iPhone is present here. That's what's cooking. And finally, we have a business acceleration session for you to contextualize this formula, this mechanism that we talk about and bring it forward. Footnote, nothing is sold to you there. We support you in seeing what you don't see about micro leakages to close to create exponential acceleration. And I am the constant student. I apply this work to myself on a daily basis. And I have the blessing and privilege of having a lot of really unique things. A 125 person law firm. I own 100% of the equity of. I own a financial company. And these are, my law firm's approaching in excess of a 9-figure valuation. The financial company is in the mid 8-figure valuation space. The Unblinded platform, people are blown away about what we've done. And that's not because I'm so smart. It's because I've developed and discerned a certain skill set and how to apply it that's transferable. Just like my uncle was a retina surgeon, knew how to operate on eyeballs, we know how to operate on people's missions and bring them forward in the world. So thank you for that. Yeah. Yep. And Bella, your final.
My final is, I've been through a lot of trainings on speaking, group influence, and I sat in the seat of Vicky and Frederick about 3.5 years ago. And what I have learned about group influence here, I have not learned anywhere else. So definitely download that book and join us on Wednesday because it's an opportunity to practice and meet more people. And final, Dr. J, phenomenal job. You could not be more proud of yourself for the incredible group that you brought here together today. Because if it weren't for Dr. J, none of you would meet each other. And there's a reason and a purpose that you were all here today and that you all have met. So definitely continue those relationships and see where they go.
Yeah.
And Sean, back to you.
Amen to that. And because we're this far in our final 30 seconds together, I say this: there is a predictable science on how to create human acceleration. 6 years ago, I did not know Tony Robbins. I did not know Jack Canfield, who sold 500 million books. I did not know Lee Steinberg, the actual Jerry Maguire. And I did not know Disney and T-Mobile and Salesforce. But through this work, Disney's had conversations with us about making our content the content of Disney University. I've spoken on Tony Robbins' stage 19 times. Lee Steinberg's Super Bowl parties, all of a sudden, I'm opening the Super Bowl party and bringing Lee Steinberg forward and being edified by him and people like Tony Robbins. So Tony Robbins said, nobody leaves with more heart and integrity than Sean Callaghan. If it was up to you, need to. And I certainly did not know, no clue, 50 other ridiculous people that I now know. And that's because I realized and decided that taking this work to the world was vital. And the acceleration piece is something that is so predictably reproducible once you understand the how to. And it's a lot more, and I say this with great respect, and Bella's come from 20 years in the space of human acceleration. She's staffed training companies, coaching companies at the highest levels. She's been a teacher, a trainer, all these leaders. And she came here like full of I know-ness, because she did know. She's a master when she walked in the space. But what we're doing here it doesn't stop at vision boarding. It doesn't stop at, feeling energy and meditating. All those things are important. It's tactical. It's precise. It's specific, which is exactly why Dr. Jude is running the show and why we have partnerships with tons of people to run the show and why international best-selling author Alison Armstrong, considered by many to be the greatest relationship coach in the world, we're doing a webinar together in September, and she's going to be a regular guest weekly on Hearts of Influence. How do those things happen? How does Jack Canfield buy our program? The guy that runs like the group of program people in the world. All of this is inside the book that is there for you. Read it. That's like my point, so we can actually give you the support. I never talk this much about what we're doing on a show, but I just felt this access point here for you guys and what's present. You could watch all the shows, 1,000 shows we've done. Never do I. It's usually like really quick, hey, there's a gift, blah, blah, blah. But really, I want you to receive it because I can feel the heart, the love, the integrity present in the space. So thank you for that. I end every show by saying this. I may be physically blind, which I am. Can't see anything in front of me. But I'm absolutely certain the possibilities for acceleration that sit right in front of us for massive acceleration are so often right there. But at some level, Bella, Dr. Jude, everyone, at some level, we are all blind.
And just learning to see. Bye-bye, everyone.
Let's go see. Thank
Bye,
you. Great job.
everybody.